Hi there, I am Digital Era Entertainment founder Mario Bueno, and I'm here to talk to you about our pro wrestling themed visual novel, Kokoro no Pro. Kokoro no Pro follows a bored third-year Japanese high school student who is looking to add some excitement to his final year of high school. He gets this and a whole lot more when he meets the mysterious Mascara Angelica, a first year who has just started the Lucha Club. Being brought into the club, this begins a year of excitement that is not unlike the sort of thing you'd find within the confines of the squared circle. He goes on to meet a motley crew of teenage wrestlers who come together to find friendship, purpose, and possibly even love. In terms of the gameplay as well as the visual style and inspirations for Kokoro no Pro, it is a visual novel. If you are not already familiar with that style of gameplay, it is essentially an interactive motion comic. There is a good chance you've probably played a few of these. Some titles that come to mind include the Ace Attorney series, Doki Doki Literature Club, Dream Daddy, the hilarious I Love You Colonel Sanders, and if you're super OG, The Silver Case by Suda51. And sidebar, I'm very happy to be able to mention Suda51 while presenting this kind of story, because for those of you who have followed Suda's career, you would know that he worked on the story for a previous installment of the Fire Pro Wrestling series. So that is a pretty cool thing to note while coming back to that. In terms of things that I think will make Kokoro no Pro stand out, it's really two specific elements, namely our artwork and our story. With the artwork, we're fortunate enough to not just be working with one talented artist, but two, one of whom is also doubling out as one of our playtesters and helping to really define the tone of our story for Kokoro no Pro. In terms of the story, the reason why that's kind of a heavy hitter for us is that we're hoping that people will be able to not just approach this story from multiple walks of life, but be able to walk out of it with new appreciations for things like professional wrestling culture, things like anime, things like visual novels. We're hoping people who have never touched a visual novel will be interested in this particular story enough to kind of give it a try and realize, oh, these are actually really fun. That's great. And for people who are either big pro wrestling fans or working in the industry themselves, we hope that the amount of reverence and appreciation and passion that we show for professional wrestling, as well as the almost educational nature of certain elements we've baked into it, will provide a tool to bring more people into the pro wrestling fandom, because it can be very difficult to get people into pro wrestling at times, and we think that this will be a wonderful way to open up that world to a whole new audience. So what made us interested in game creation? Well, in a way, it ties back to the three pillars of digital era entertainment. Those are video games, anime, and pro wrestling. Traditionally, not just myself, but the other members of the Digital Era Entertainment team, we have been content creators of many sorts. And while we have worked on video games, whether it be as writers for elements of very prominent AAA games, whether it be as QA testers and community mods in mobile gaming, or whether it is, being a part of the games as voice talent from everything from startup bootstrapped indie games all the way up to double and AAA projects. We've all had an appreciation for games. We have, for many of us on the team, worked on games. We never actually made a game. So we've done all the things surrounding the actual creation, and that's part of why we're starting very modestly with a visual novel, because it is something that we can competently produce start to finish regardless of budget, and still bring all of our knowledge, all of our experience, and all of our passion, not just for games, but for anime, but for pro wrestling, and kind of focus it and distill it into this one representation of all these things. As for challenges that we've faced in terms of this journey, what it really boils down to is funding. We have this many ideas and only this much budget because we've been pulling from basically our own pockets and usually very unstable incomes. With the even base level of
crowdfunding.
We would be able to competently finish the visual novel at a very high quality and be able to even integrate a few extra mechanics, because we'd be able to bring on extra programmers to help us with, the knowledge that they have. We would be able to, dedicate extra time and extra polish to some of these elements. We would be able to also do a good job marketing the project, because many of us, including myself on the Digital Era Entertainment team, have had the fortune of doing events marketing for anime, for games. So being able to set up tables at, your gaming conventions, your anime fan shows, your wrestling fan events, and being able to do a very polished presentation at each of those venues would just be a huge boon. And of course, in the event that we were able to
crush stretch goals,
in theory, that could mean, besides not just having a big publisher support, which takes care of so many headaches and also opens up a lot of doors for us in terms of finding the talent for it, we might even be able to realize the full vision of Kokoro no Pro as put out by RJ in his original idea, which is a wrestling game with a dating sim. In terms of why I think our project should be
funded
over what I can only imagine are far more technically complex or visually interesting projects, is, pardon the pun, the heart within Kokoro no Pro. There is an X factor that this project has been exuding since the very beginning, and it's one that I think, with the right amount of support, the right amount of nurturing, can really reach out, whether it is because of its anime-influenced visuals or the very premise, which is made for one hell of an elevator pitch. There's something special here, and I think with the assistance of
Kickstarter,
we can make something very, very cool here. I just want to thank everybody once more, not just for checking this out, but also for sending us your support. We hope that if we are able to cross the finish line with the help of
Kickstarter,
that the final product is going to be something that you are going to treasure for the rest of your life. It has been an absolute joy for us at Digital Era Entertainment to be working on this and seeing it continue to progress and excite more people with its progress. Of course, big thanks to IGN and Rogue for putting together Rogue Jam and giving us this platform to get Kokoro no Pro in front of so many more eyeballs than we have been able to up to now. Thank you so much for that. And as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay informed. Take care, y'all.
Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us across social media for updates. Thanks for watching!